Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Sunday, September 13th, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update. We have very big news to go over. In today's video, we're first going to go over the number one reason why many senators still believe we will have a second stimulus package with direct stimulus checks in it. Then we're going to go over what Mitch McConnell said about a second stimulus package during a visit to a hospital in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, just the other day. He spoke about what he thinks is going to be in the second stimulus package, what he thinks the status is of it, and if we will receive one before the election. And finally, we're going to go over how a number of senators in Congress are saying how it's not all bad news that this bill wasn't passed on Thursday in the Senate. They're saying how it's actually good news for a second stimulus package and even better news for a $1,200 check arriving in the pockets of millions of Americans. We're going to go over all of that and more, but before we get started, it would really mean a lot if you could like the video down below and subscribe to my channel. It's completely free to do so, and it says about 50% of you watching are not subscribed, so if you'd like to stay up to date on the second stimulus check, second stimulus package, as well as other news updates, then please be sure to subscribe. Also, don't forget, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and you can get $20 immediately when you download the M1 Finance app as well. So, the number one reason why many senators still believe we will have another stimulus package with direct stimulus checks is because the cost of inaction and not passing another bill is very steep right now. And many of them believe that top lawmakers are purposely avoiding a deal until after the election because they believe not passing a bill will actually hurt President Trump's chances of getting reelected. Nearly 30 million Americans are receiving some kind of jobless benefits around the country right now, and many businesses whose initial payment protection program loans allowed them to avoid layoffs have already run out of their first loans, and now they need more money. Without another stimulus bill, those businesses are not just going to be struggling, the businesses themselves, and could file for bankruptcy and go out of business, but they won't be able to create more jobs and hire workers, which provide salaries, without applying for another round of a payment protection loan. Marco Rubio, a Florida Republican senator, said that he is worried about another round of layoffs as companies are starting to run out of money, and frankly, he thinks that that is what some Democrats are counting on, bad economic news in October, because that will help them in the November election and it will hurt President Trump. He explained that as it gets closer to the election, now he thinks rank and file members want to do something, want to pass a bill, but the congressional leadership is thinking about what helps them the most in November. They're not thinking about the people, they're thinking about what's going to help them and their election chances in November. And for President Trump, they think that it helps him if a bill is passed, and that is why he explains that Democrats don't want a bill to pass because it will just help President Trump. In addition to Marco Rubio, Senator Kevin Cramer, a Republican from North Dakota, argued that Democrats are avoiding a deal until after the elections in an effort to win back the Senate and the White House. So they all believe that we still are going to have a second stimulus package, but now they're just saying that since it's getting closer and closer to the election, that senators and lawmakers are delaying this stimulus package because they want a certain outcome in the election. They're not worried about the people as much as they are about the election. And that is very, very unfortunate because the number one priority of these lawmakers is to help the people. That is why we vote them into office in the first place. Next up is during a visit to a hospital in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, Mitch McConnell said, "I wish I could tell you we were going to get another package before the election, but it doesn't look that good right now." This was his most pessimistic assessment to date about the state of the second stimulus package. Roughly 29 to 30 million Americans are collecting some sort of jobless aid, and eviction and hunger crisis threatens many people as key relief programs that Congress approved in March with the CARES Act have started to expire and have already run out. McConnell explained that he can't predict what we're going to get together here in the last 2 months before the election, if we're going to have another stimulus package, how big it would be, but he said there are needs that ought to be met and must be met right now, and I would hope we overcome our partisan differences and come together on another stimulus package. But he said as of today, that hasn't happened so far. He explained how the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and the Democratic leader in Chuck Schumer continue to insist on a massive amount of money for things that were frankly unrelated to the virus. So that's why they've reached a gridlock right now. He goes on to say how he also thinks that the reason for the agreement reaching a gridlock is that we're getting closer and closer to the election. So he says the two reasons is that Democrats want a much larger bill and a higher price tag, and now it's starting to get closer to the election, and they believe that another stimulus bill would simply help out President Trump. Moving on, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell also hit at Democrats for rejecting his bill, and he started to blame them. Mitch McConnell told Daily Briefing yesterday that the way Democrats are acting now, and because they outright rejected the proposal, makes you believe that they don't want to do another package until after the election. He explained how these challenges are clearly necessary to be tackled and should be done on a bipartisan basis and need to be done now. But he explained that the bill that he proposed on Thursday and that was voted on had all aspects that they already agreed on. Both sides already had agreed on all of the aspects in this bill. It just wasn't as large of a bill that the Democrats want. So he said for this reason, it shows that Democrats are trying to wait until after the election because it will help them out in November. And finally, with fewer than 2 months until the election, the odds of a massive stimulus bill intended to help bolster businesses, provide additional unemployment benefits, and give more money to schools before the election has started to fall drastically. Senator Pat Roberts, a Republican from Kansas, told reporters that looking to the House, and for that matter our colleagues across the aisle with the Democrats, it's sort of a dead-end street right now with the second stimulus package until the election, and it's very unfortunate, but that is what it is. He explained how the problem is that this week not a single Democrat voted for the Republicans' scaled-back stimulus plan, even though it included all bipartisan aspects in it, all aspects that they had already agreed on beforehand. Instead, he explained how Congress is turning its focus now to simply pass a short-term spending bill by the end of the month aimed at preventing a government shutdown after September 30th. And when asked if the stimulus negotiations were officially dead until after the election, another senator named Dick Shelby, a Republican from Alabama, he told reporters that right now it looks that way. However, it's not all bad news right now, because Shelby goes on to say that you never know around here in Washington. Sometimes things look bleak, and then they're all of a sudden revived in an instant, and so forth. He said how we've thought the scaled down version of the bill was a very good bill. It had all bipartisan aspects in it, and we really thought it was going to pass. It had good timing and everything else, but Democrats obviously thought otherwise. And he said that's the reason why they think Democrats are simply waiting till after the election to get a bill passed, because they want to win the election in November. He explained, though, that all they can do right now is propose a bill, tee it up, and go with it, and that is what they did. So anyways, that is just a quick update on the second stimulus check and second stimulus package as of Sunday, September 13th, 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below, and get $20 immediately when you download the M1 Finance app. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.